What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. We are back on some MX bikes, and in this video we're going to be covering two different things at once. So first of all, you will see the bike that I'm on is the brand new 2023, it's a KLX230r, I believe is the correct naming of it. This is released by 2 Mods, and it's just, it kind of falls in the same sort of vein as, if you remember, I've done videos on that big bore CRF 110 that I really enjoyed. Falls into the same category as that, so I'm hoping that it's going to ride just as well. Hopefully it's just as fast and just as grippy. So that is the first part of this, and then the second part we have as well is the track that we're going to be riding on. This is just called Shane's Private Sand Track, and it's a first time track created by Shane, and it is apparently it's a self-admitted rush track, so it's not going to be anything incredible out of this world. However, just based on the preview pictures, I thought it didn't look like anything difficult at all, so it could be a good track to try and experiment on this KLX1, not 110, KLX130, 230. Now this is just interesting. Okay, moving on. We're not going to look at that too much onwards. Might get demonetized, Jesus Christ. So before we get too deep into this video as well, I did just want to mention that 4 hours from the point of this video going live, I will be starting my Donatathon stream. For those of you that are unaware, I've done one of these before, and the whole point of it is I will start a live stream at 12 midday my time. The stream is guaranteed to last at least 2 hours. However, there is a timer counting down the whole time. Any sort of donations that go through, whether they're via Super Chat or just by the link in the description, time gets added on to that timer, and it's basically like $1 per minute. I essentially haul myself out at that point, so you pay for me by the hour, essentially. And it just goes up and up, and the stream just keeps going until the timer expires, or it goes so long that I'm about to pass out from lack of sleep. So those are the two variables in there. And yeah, 4 hours from the point of this video going live. So if you're watching this early in the morning, set yourself a reminder. If you are watching this a couple hours after it's gone live, then just stop by on the channel, have a look, see if I'm live. I should be. And I welcome you all there. Very excited for it. It's the second one that I've ever done, and it's been quite a few months since the last one we done. And it's just like, I think it's really good timing. It's going to be nothing but nationals practice for like an entire day straight if it goes that long, and just wanted to let you make all of you aware, because I've not hyped it up as much as I have done in the past, but I'll definitely add everybody in Discord as well at some point when we go live. So if you want to be notified about that, please do go in the description down below, check out the Discord link and become a part of the community. We've got, I think, over 3,000 people in that Discord now, which is really cool, really good to be a part of, and everyone's really nice, so I don't have to kind of slap anybody on the wrist or tell anyone else off, so good stuff all round. Now, let's get to this bike, first of all. It doesn't feel as fast as the CRF 110 did, straight off the bat, which is a bit weird. I honestly expected it to feel a little bit more powerful. Now, I think the CRF 110 was made by OTTM Mods himself. However, I went on to 2 Mods' page, and it looks like there's a few different people involved in that. It's like a little group of people together. And whilst these bikes, they might not be the most polished things in the world, I mean, I'm sure someone who is very well experienced in things like Blender and making bikes and objects in general could come along and make something that is probably a whole lot prettier. But just the fact that people are going out of their way to experiment and make legit different bikes in this game is really nice, because in terms of, let's say, smaller bikes on this game, we only really have the one option, which is the ripped Alpha Mods bikes, which are a big no-no, which I don't encourage people like go for or ride at all. And the reason I always say that is just out of respect for all the work that the OEM team put in. I see a lot of what goes on behind the scenes and how much they're constantly working to try and improve the bikes that we have in the game. So when you do get people come along that just straight up rip bikes from other games and port them over into bikes, it's just a little bit disrespectful for the guys that really work hard, I believe. So this is why I like using these bikes when these ones come out, is because we get to do something a little bit different, get to ride some smaller bikes and have some fun on some, usually, I think underscaled tracks usually work the best for these. The CRF110, to be fair, I think you can even clear the Rocco's Leap on it. It's stupid powerful. But yeah, this 230 is definitely less on the power side. So if you want something that is essentially like a pit bike overall, then hop on this, ride this around, have some good fun. And one thing that's different on this model compared to other bikes that got released is this model, I think it fits the standard height of the rider. So in terms of rider placement, he's actually sat on the bike really well. The only one negative I can see is the hands don't grip the handlebars like fully, properly. However, the other bikes that got released, they had some weird and wonderful bits like the wheels not even touching the floor and the feet not being on the foot pegs properly. So even though, again, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, it definitely feels nice and nimble. Doesn't feel super fast, but that's all part of its like charm, I think, is trying to get something that isn't fast to go fast. And then you can tell that as they're making more and more bikes together, they are slowly progressing and making them better as well. Now, if you do download this, word of warning, you do have to press whatever button it is on your keyboard or your controller if you've rebound the button. Whatever your button is to start the bike when it stalls, you will have to press that. Because I spawned in and the bike wasn't working at all. It was working, it was just stalled, so I had to press the letter K on my keyboard. I believe that's default to get the bike started up and going. I don't think it references any other audio or sound mods this time like the CRF did. So you should be able to hear the bike this time, and there's no separate wheels to it at all. There is just one download, one folder that you have to drag and drop into your mods folder, or into your bikes folder, sorry, within your mods folder, and it's happy days. So it should be nice and straightforward, not too confusing. And I like when bikes like this release as well, because it gives me another video topic. Like I can get a full lobby of people in on this bike. Unfortunately, this bike is in its own separate category from the CRF 110. So we can't race them against each other, although I don't think that's the end of the world, because I think the 110 would absolutely dookie on it any day of the week. And this track, overall, I think it suits this bike quite well, to be honest. I think Shane said that this track took, in total, 7 hours between watching YouTube videos and actually building the track itself. Just track time alone without all of the YouTube stuff and learning how to build tracks, it was about 3 or so hours, maybe a little bit over 3 hours. So I think for something that only took 3 hours, it's actually really impressive. And that's always the thing that scares me when it comes to building tracks, and it's why I've not quite taken that leap yet, is just how much research and how long it takes before you even get into the track building part, just watching all the various tutorials. And I'm very happy that we do have all them resources for people that are completely brand new to track making, be able to go and watch and learn how to build tracks for the very first time. There's some real OG members of this community that really did pave the way. I mean, most notably TFC, people like Resolute Kraken as well. I mean, Resolute's built an entire like track builder helper program, and there's so many more people that I can't even name. People like Green Lennox when it comes to making really detailed skins in Photoshop. There's tutorials out there for basically everything if you search hard enough. And I do swear one day I will put the time and effort in and start building the track. Knowing me, I'll probably get halfway through it, get really annoyed that I can't do what I want it to do, and then probably just release it unfinished. That kind of seems to be a similar thing what's happened with this track, is it got worked on for a certain amount of time, and then they just didn't like the direction that the track was going in and just wanted to kind of finish it up and get it out to people. And I don't mind people admitting when they say they've rushed a track or they just want to get it out. Creative block is a real thing, and I don't blame people for wanting to start new projects and try and get bigger and better things. And I think for a first track, it looks absolutely fine, by the way. It'd be nice to have some trees dotted around. I mean, we've got them over in the distance there, but around the majority of the track would be quite nice. But this decal that you've seen on the ground here, yeah, it looks really good when you're riding, like zooming past it. It's not until you stop that it starts looking a bit strange and cartoony, but it's something very unique. I don't know where he's got this from, if they're something he's custom made, if they're scanned, if they're off Google. I have absolutely no clue. But I think overall it's a very nice, beginner friendly track. There's nothing difficult on it by any means. There's one or two... football. Is that a little like football net, or sorry, a soccer net for any of the Americans? I generally can't. No, it might be a fence. It might just be a gate. Generally can't tell from it. But the whole premise of this track is it's meant to be a replica of a backyard sand track. However, it's not sand traction in game, which some people probably like. That makes no sense. Why would you not make it sand if it's a replica of a sand track? I really don't mind it. I've not really been enjoying too much sand recently, and I've been trying to do a bunch of TFC stuff and practicing and playing on tracks like Southwick, and I'm just not enjoying the sand tracks whatsoever. I'm not vibing with them too well. I think that's to be fair, it depends on what sort of track. I mean, Sardinia is my favourite sand track by a long shot. I really, really do enjoy that one. But yeah, I'm not too upset that it's not a sand track by any means. So that will probably do it for me in terms of like the track and the bike. Just want to show off these two new things for you guys, and I'm glad that we're starting to get more free tracks and MXV mods again. There was we had a bit of a dry spell, but I feel like it's a common thing of, I think a lot of track creators are in the same sort of cycle, because I think we'll go 2-3 weeks without getting anything, and then in the space of 2 days we might get 3 or 4 tracks come out, and it just seems to keep being like a repeating cycle, which is a really, really weird thing. But oh well, they're coming out now at least. So, if you have enjoyed this video, if I could ask you to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I would greatly appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts on this bike if you've ridden it yet, or on this track if you've given it a go as well. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you guys are up to, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.